Shaming single mothers is not the flex society thinks it is. Somebody tried to put me in my place on Father's Day, but it backfired. Welcome to Nurturology TV, where we rewrite the rules of wellness, womanhood, and wealth, one unfiltered truth at a time. We're going to talk about the 5 lies society tells about baby mamas. But first, let me tell you how an unmarried, two-time baby daddy tried to shame me for being a single mom. So, this young mom and her beautiful baby girl, they're new to my community. And unfortunately, they've been in the presence of a very immature and overbearing man who thinks it's appropriate to discipline a 1-year-old by yelling at the top of his lungs to get her to listen and stop crying. He also thinks it's okay to antagonize his baby mama while she's trying to get some peace and privacy. Now, I've been aware of his behavior for a little while without saying anything, but eventually I felt compelled to speak up. Now, he must have been upset when I asked him to find another way to put the baby to sleep, and I politely suggested some alternatives to keep things calmer, right? Now, immediately I could tell that he had very little respect for women and was totally uninterested in hearing what I had to say. So I kept to myself. After a few more situations, I asked the baby's mom if she was all right. I let her know that she's not alone and that if she needed anything, I'm here for her and the baby. Now that got under his skin because how dare I ask her anything? And he proceeded to show just how abusive he actually can be when challenged. Yelling, cursing, insulting, assuming, threatening, and worst of all, shaming me for being a single mom of 2 without a man around. Now, I had to inform him that I would sooner send a dude packing before I let someone like him stay around me and mine. Come to find out, he's got a whole nother baby mama, an even younger baby, and he's not even in the same state as his child. Now, I thought it was hilarious, despite it being sad, okay, that he creates baby mamas, then has the nerve to shame them. Now, we all know the double standards that exist within baby mama culture, but it made me think about how this stigma creates so many myths about single moms. Now, I would rather be a baby mama, support single mothers, and encourage the dissolution of unhealthy relationships before I fall for the lies society tells about us. So let's get into these lies so the truth can set you free. Lie number 1, you failed to keep your family together. If it's broken at the foundation, there's no amount of abuse you can tolerate to keep your family together. Okay. And just because one member of the family is not invited to the barbecue doesn't mean the entire family no longer exists. You are your kids' family, and your kids are your family, sis. You did not mess up your family at all. Okay. Lie number 2, you're a burden to society. Now, society tends to incubate its own monsters and then cries wolf when it can't defend against them. Okay. The infrastructure that upholds society is not sustainable and is crumbling anyway. Put pressure on it, sis, and don't bend to oppressive systems, break them. Then we move on to lie number 3, that your children are doomed. The 2-parent household facade is also falling. Raising children is hard enough. You don't need to add unnecessary trauma and unhealthy generational patterns to the mix. If you keep a toxic man around your children, they're surely doomed. Lie number 4, that you're somehow irresponsible. Most single moms have made the difficult decision to raise children alone, not because they're irresponsible, but because they are responsible. And they know that they are responsible for their children's outcomes in life and doing the best that they can to keep them safe. Okay. Dangerous men come in all shapes and sizes. Abuse and neglect shows up in different forms. And keeping toxicity disguised as functional nuclear family, that's irresponsible. Okay. Lie number 5, you're not wife material. Now, if you're already a mother, your priority is nurturing, supporting, and guiding your children as well as yourself. Being a wife may not be your divine assignment. So what? A husband is secondary to your role as a mother. And any man who doesn't see you as wife material simply because you're a mother is not worthy of being your husband anyway. At least you can raise your children in peace for the most part, except for these PP bros, podcast and passport bros, needing to be validated by projecting their shame onto others. Their house of cards is falling as well. So fuck them. Be free, sis. Now, this is part 2 of a series where I'm breaking down the myths, the mindset, and the movement behind maternal empowerment, unfiltered. So, subscribe so you don't miss part 3, and comment which lie you've heard the most or heard said about you so we can toss it aside along with the bitter baby daddies we left behind. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. Now, remember, it is not your fault, sis. Don't you dare feel guilty for making them leave or not making them stay, because the reality is their own mamas couldn't make them do anything. All right. You are not responsible for the actions of those fathers. All right. This is your favorite 2-time baby mama with 2 degrees. Until next time, nurture you first and stay sacred. Peace.